In this video, I'm going to show you some examples where I solve the cross more efficiently. So the hard thing now is combining all of these new different strategies. So offset crosses, flipping bad edges, tracking edge pieces, as well as color neutrality. And because there are so many different possible combinations of cross edge positions, the easiest thing for me to do is just show you some example solves, as the cross is something which you really don't want to become formulaic. You want to be solving it intuitively every single time. And really the most important thing now is to try and focus on planning more cross pieces in your inspection time. So if you can already plan out 1 or 2 cross edges in your inspection time, now you should start moving on and trying to plan 3 or maybe even 4, all 4 cross edges in your inspection. At the start, don't worry about how long it takes you and don't worry about how frustrated you get. It just takes a little bit of time. So let's do some examples. So here we have this edge in the middle layer. So if we insert it like that, we notice we have this bad edge in our cross layer that when we do that move to place that one, will become a good edge in the middle layer like that. Now this is the white and orange edge, and this white and red edge is over here. So if we move this one over here, and if we were to place this, then these 2 cross edges would be solved correctly relative to one another. But before we place this edge, we can also notice that we have 2 bad cross edges in our top layer, like that. So we have this one here, which is the white and blue edge, which belongs down here, because this is the orange center, this is the orange edge, and this is the blue center here. So this orange edge belongs here, and the blue one will belong here. So before we insert this white and orange piece, we can move this white and blue edge over on top of it, do an F to put the orange piece in, and this white and blue edge becomes correctly oriented. Now all we need to do to solve this one and the other 2 is do an R prime and then do a D to correctly align those 3 cross pieces. The last cross edge is up here and it's flipped, so what we can do is do an L, F prime, L prime to solve it. So let's do another one. Our cross edges are here, 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 and here. And in this case, they're all good edges, so it's an easy example. And the thing that we do notice is that this white and blue piece is aligned with the green center, and this white and green piece is aligned with the blue center. So if we insert these 2 like that, these 2 are correctly solved relative to one another, off by 180 degrees. But we won't do that just yet because we do have a cross piece oriented in our bottom layer, which is here, which is the white and red piece, which we can do a D prime, and now it's attached to the orange center, so that when we do an R prime and L, these 3 cross pieces are now all correctly solved relative to one another. Our last cross piece is up here. Instead of rotating and putting it over here and then doing a D2, we can do a D prime, which puts the empty slot down here, R2 to place it in, and then do another D prime to completely align our cross pieces. So let's do another example. Our cross pieces are here, 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 and here. This is a bad edge in our top layer, and this is a bad edge in our bottom layer. So we can solve these 2 at the same time by doing a U2. Now, instead of just inserting this cross edge like that, and then having to put that one down here, we can do an R prime to move this into the middle layer, bring this cross edge on top of it, the bad one, do an R prime again, which puts this one into the middle layer, and then do an F, which solves those 2 edges. Our last cross edge is here, so if it's in the middle layer, we can just misalign the cross by doing a D, put it into the empty position, and then do a D prime, like that. So let's do another example. We have this white and red edge, which is attached to the orange center here, and we have this white and green edge, which is attached to the blue center here. So they're both opposite their corresponding center pieces by 180 degrees. And our other 2 edge pieces are here and here. So we can insert this edge and solve it correctly relative to this piece by just doing an R, and that doesn't affect either of these 2 pieces. However, we need to deal with this situation down here where we have a bad edge in the bottom layer, so it's incorrectly oriented. So we can move it into the middle layer by just doing one move, an L prime, and now it becomes a good edge because all middle layer edges are good edges. Now that it's up here, we see that if we do a D, like that, this edge now belongs down here, next to this white and red one, and opposite the white and green one. So we can do an F prime, D to align those 3, and our last cross edge is here, which just requires an F prime, like that. So this is our last example. We have this white and orange edge here, the white and green one here, the white and red up here, and the white and blue over here. Now this one is a good edge, this one's a bad edge, and these two are both good. So firstly, we notice we have this cross edge in our bottom layer, but it's not correctly aligned. And instead of correctly aligning it like that, and then solving the rest of them directly, what we can do is notice we have this white and orange edge here, which is attached to the red center. So if we align this one down here like that, line up the blue with the green there, we can move this orange one down into that position and then do a D2 to solve those two completely. Now to solve our last edge, instead of doing an R prime and then solving this one after that, we can do a U2 to move this bad edge on top of this edge like that. Then when we do an R prime, this one will come into the middle layer, and then we do an F to solve it like that.